Hey guys, it's Colin here at eTrailer, and today we're going to do a test fit of the eTrailer.com XXL cargo basket on our 2019 Toyota 4Runner. Now as you can see, this is a really big basket we've got loaded up here. We're going to be able to get a ton of cargo loaded up. If we got excess cargo for a camping trip, we don't have room inside our 4Runner, we can get it installed up there. Or if we just have some dirty or muddy gear that we don't want dirtying up the inside of our 4Runner, we can throw it up in the basket, get it secured, and then be good to go. Like I said, this is a really big basket. It's got a really nice tubular steel construction. It's going to be really nice and durable, and it's got a black powder coat finish. Really adds to the looks of our vehicle, and it helps the cargo basket resist rust and corrosion. Now the reason that we call this the XXL version is because we have the normal eTrailer cargo basket, and then we have two extension pieces on there that's 24 extra inches to our standard cargo basket. Gives you a ton of space to be able to get your gear loaded up. And if for some reason maybe you want to go on a weekend trip, but you don't want that much length on your rooftop just for that weekend, you can take out one or both extensions depending on how much room you actually need. All you do is remove these bolts right here, and then you can remove one or both extensions. Now this roof basket does have a weight capacity of 165 pounds, so just make sure you're not overloading it, and also make sure you double check with the owner's manual of your 4Runner and make sure your roof rack can handle that weight before you load it up. Now as far as storage space on the basket, like I said, you got that extra 24 inches with the two extension pieces. If we measure from the inside rail on the length from front to back, at the shortest part, it's going to be 69 inches, so that's at the two back corners of the basket. Now the front does bow out slightly, so at the center, if we go center on center all the way to the front and back, it's going to be about 72 inches. So you do get a little bit more space in the center right there, but still a ton of space to get your cargo loaded. And then if we go from the width at the narrowest part, inside rail to inside rail, it's about 31.5 inches. So like I said, that combined with the length of it, you should be able to get all your cargo loaded up here and secured. If we go from the floor right here, the top of the floor I should say, to the top of a rail, that's 7 3/4 of an inch in the depth of it. So any totes or stuff like that you want to put up here, it's deep enough to where you're not going to have to worry about it tipping or falling out. Now you can see with this nice tubular design going all the way around the basket, that's plenty of tie down space for bungee cords, ratchet straps, anything you've got to secure your cargo, it's going to work. Now one thing you do want to keep in mind is that you are adding a good amount of height to your roof. So if we go from the top of our crossbar to the highest point of our cargo basket, it's going to be about 8 5/8 of an inch. And with the 4Runner being a higher sitting vehicle anyway, you definitely want to make sure that you can avoid any low clearance situation that you won't fit in. Now, one of my favorite things about the basket is that rather than having the slats on the inside go side to side, we're actually going front to back. That makes it a lot easier to adjust this on our roof rack. We can get it exactly over our crossbars. These brackets can slide back and forth in the track, and each extension piece does have its own track as well. And you can see with this basket at the front, we actually had to move the front clamp system to the front extension piece to get it to fit on our 4Runner. And the reason we did that is because we wanted to make sure we had rear hatch access. So if we come back to the rear hatch, you can see with how we have it positioned on our 4Runner, we have full access. We don't have to worry about that spoiler making contact with the basket. Now I think this cargo basket looks really good on top of our 4Runner, and I think it's going to look good really on any vehicle because it's got a nice sleek look to it, and with the fairing on the front, it's going to help divert a lot of that wind over top of it to help cut down on that wind noise and drag. And with the sleek look of it, like I said, that's also going to assist with that wind noise and drag to make sure to keep it all to a minimum. Now right here you can see the clamping system we have on our crossbar. We have arrow crossbars right now, but it'll also work well with elliptical bars, round bars, square bars, and most factory roof rack systems. With our arrow bars, like I said, got a really good hold. We got rubber pads on the top one right here, and then right here as well to make sure it doesn't harm or scratch your crossbars. It's a really easy install. You just drop the two bolts in from the top and then thread them onto the bottom bracket, and then you're good to go. I'll go ahead and walk you through that process right now. It's going to be the same process for all 4 of the clamping brackets. And when installing it, you have 3 different pieces to each bracket that holds it onto your crossbar. Now we have one of the pieces underneath the track right here. What we need to do is get the other 2 installed. These are basically going to sandwich that middle piece right there. So this top skinny bracket is going to go on top. You want to make sure you get these little rubber knobs through the top right here. Should just slide right over top. If you are having trouble, you want to make sure you kind of pry it through. See how this front one came all the way through. If you're having trouble, you can just use some white lithium grease. It does come in your kit. Just trying to get it all the way through. There we go. Now we got all 3 of them through. We'll take the 3rd piece. This is going to go underneath. Kind of see the indent for where the crossbar is supposed to sit. We'll come right there. Now we'll grab our hardware, which is going to be 2 bolts. Drop them through the top right there. May need to kind of force it down in at first. There we go. And it's just going to thread on to that bottom piece. Now that we've got them both threaded, we'll just get our little included tool and just tighten it up the rest of the way. What I'm going to do on this left side is just tighten it up until the bottom bracket makes contact with my crossbar. We don't want to go any further than that because you want to make sure you get it as even as possible on both sides. So we'll just go up to that point and then we'll go ahead and just switch over. Just continue to do the same thing. Now once you get tension on both sides, just go a few more turns. No need to over tighten it at all. And that should be good right there. Now with everything tightened down, you can see our basket is very secure up there. It's really not going to go anywhere. So now you're ready to load up your basket with all of your gear and then hit the road. Well, thank you all for watching, and I hope this information helped you out. But that's going to do it for our test fit of the eTrailer.com XXL cargo basket on our 2019 Toyota 4Runner.